Thank you for joining me in this leadership presentation. My name is Lisa Lance, and I'd like to thank Judith Ring, now retired Florida Department of State, Division of Library and Information Services Division Director, for allowing me the opportunity to speak with her and learn from her about not only her personal life and professional career, but about her leadership ability. Judy gave permission to use any and all information, documents, pictures, or other collateral materials for this project that she had shared or provided. Her life and career gives us great insight into the role of leadership, and by sharing the success of her career, I hope that I can learn, but I also hope that you can learn how that leadership is paramount in an organizational environment. It requires both leader-follower interactions, and as they occur, great libraries are built. Judith Ring was born Judith L. Snowden and raised on the shores of Lake Erie in Erie County, Pennsylvania. She spent 49 years on those shores, but at age 12, her family moved to a rural township and there was nothing close by to walk to, and the closest library was now 12 miles from her new home. But while in elementary school, Judy was already drawn to the library and remembers Florence Smith, who was the children's librarian at the City of Erie Public Library, which was housed in the old Carnegie Library on the town square. Florence Smith introduced Judy to a new world of literacy and a passion for the library. Even at this young age, Judy had the skills developing to one day be a leader. She had an ambition and an enthusiasm to be successful in life. Judy's first job during high school was a page at the library. It was there she met Jess Shilkin, the library director, who gave Judy her first professional job. Judy was the first person in her family to attend college, and during her high school years, the school guidance counselor, Helen Andrews, saw Judy's potential and she told her she should either be a teacher or a librarian. So Judith Snowden became a librarian. She left home for the first time and attended Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania and graduated with a double major in elementary education and library science in 1970. While raising her two sons, Christopher and Daniel, she had started working full-time at the Old City Library on the town square after it and the county library combined. She was now the reference librarian and worked with Florence Smith, who was still the children's librarian, who had helped introduce Judy to the library and was the first influence to her career. While Judy was branch manager for the Central Library, she had the fortune to work with Michelle Ridge, who was wife of Tom Ridge, former head of Homeland Security under President Bush. She saw Judy's potential and influenced and encouraged her to go to library school. Judy said that she knew that without obtaining a master's degree, she wouldn't be able to advance in library administration. So in the fall of 1987, while working full-time as a branch manager and raising her two sons, she attended Clarion University one day a week and earned her Master in Library Science degree. It was in 1993, while Judy worked with Michelle Ridge, who had influenced her education and leadership, that they were in the midst of planning for a new central library when Mrs. Ridge's husband, Tom, became governor and Michelle resigned her position, and Judy Lynch, who was the executive director, offered Judy Ring the position of library director. The role of leadership may not always be the track that someone sees for their future, but as Judy said, it was a transition along the way. She went from being an individual working in an organization to a branch manager, then onto a director, building competency at every interval of the position. Some of her words of wisdom were that no one tells you there are many levels and many adjustments to be made along the way. Just be open and prepared when they come. This is comparative to her leadership style, which would be considered participative. One person can't build anything totally alone. You have to be able to work with others, be a team player, administrator, and a leader. And by being one that participates, you don't necessarily become somebody that's toxic, because if you're listening to others, you're going to utilize others' strengths to help you build a new success. Judy and I discussed that what she learned about being a good leader through her experiences, and even though we often think that communication is the big factor, we also need to learn to listen, not only with our ears, but also listen by observation of others and even study about leadership. It's a continual process, mostly learned by experiencing the good and the bad, using the trial and error method, but keeping focused on the organization and the mission to the staff and the public. By developing leadership skills along the way, it made any challenges that Judy faced less daunting and able to view the big picture, to determine the next goal and steps to take to achieve the goal, and to bring the right people along or the followers that could accomplish the goal. Over time, Judy constructed her own leadership traits to live by, and they include having a positive attitude, doing the right thing, accept responsibility, say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, having respect, try not to play favorites with people and treat all people equally. Be empowering. Make your staff feel embodied and powerful. You need to have self-control. Watch your tone of voice and body language. Actions do speak louder than words. Try not to send a mixed message. By showing that you care, you need to show interest, sincere interest, and genuine concern for others. It includes consideration, compassion, sympathy, and empathy and nurturing. Caring doesn't mean that you tolerate or ignore lack of job performance, bad attitudes, or dishonesty. It just means that you see humans as the most important resource in any organization. You need to have moral courage. Stand up for your convictions and values while risking criticism, censure, or ridicule. And always remember, still try to communicate. Assume the role of teacher, mentor, and be a resourceful person. Despite having never been involved in such a monumental task, Judy's leadership ability allowed her one of the greatest successes, designing and building the new Central Library, Blasco Public Library in Erie County, Pennsylvania, and they opened their doors in 1996. By learning new technologies and working with others, working with the Erie County executive Judy Lynch, who had offered her the library director position to begin with, they went throughout the community making 30 presentations to different groups, raising awareness and generating donations and recruiting followers. And what was the successful outcome? It was to open the doors of a brand new library. By the summer of 1996, she was giving hard hat tours of the building at noon and providing a free lunch from Burger King. Working with others as a leader and a follower is what was essential qualities needed by someone to help build a 90,000 square foot joint use facility that's on the waterfront, which is also shared by the State of Pennsylvania Maritime Museum, and they also have a 300-seat civic auditorium. Not to say it was easy, because there were definitely tests along the way, but by being steadfast, even today, it proves that 20 plus years later, the library is still a community asset by the original leadership. Along the way, Judy's leadership abilities influenced follower Mary Rennie. After hiring her as a library clerk and working under Judy's leadership, continued her education, became a branch manager, and retired recently as a library director after a productive career. Judy faced what could have been a life-changing experience due to a health issue that she had conquered and overcame. During that time, Judy chose life and family as more important aspects of a good life, and a wonderful opportunity opened in South Florida near her family. Judy accepted in December of 1997 the assistant director of Lee County Library System, and during the next years, she worked in Lee County and was involved in designing and building one new library branch, the East County Library, and adding additional spaces and renovating another at Cape Coral. While still working in Lee County, Judy and a group of others assembled a reading festival in downtown Fort Myers Park along the river. An estimated 10,000 people attended, and Carl Hyacin came and sat under a tree in the park, sharing his books with children, many of which came dressed as their favorite character to be in the parade. Judy finished her career in a leadership role working as a state librarian and achieving another of what she feels is her greatest successes, the launch of the Florida Electronic Library in 2003. Still today, it's a common online research database for K-12 schools, colleges and universities, public libraries, and any resident of Florida. Several more years of librarian leadership was achieved, and Judy Ring retired in 2014 as a division director. In summary, a leader is responsible for the effectiveness of their organization. They serve as an anchor and a guide and are accountable for the integrity of their institution. We are not born as a leader, but can learn by listening and observing other leaders and those we are leading. Leadership has nothing to do with seniority or position of hierarchy of a company. It isn't managing, it's leading. Leadership is like a relationship. It is continual, ongoing, reflective, and a progressive approach toward a goal. There's nothing wrong with achieving a goal, but we should never stop learning how to be a better leader. By continually applying the traits and skills outlined toward library leadership, there is sure to be success. We may not all get the opportunity to build a new library, but we can build library services to meet the needs of our patrons. Judy says it's all just fond memories now, but her leadership ability can still be noted by her long list of accolades and prominent leaders she served under during her career, which included 11 different secretaries of state and 3 governors. I asked Judy if she would change anything or the path she took through her library career. We can only hope that our answer can be just like hers. No regrets. I know I worked hard and did the best that I could. Congratulations, Judy Ring, on a successful career. It's on to the good life now, retirement and new memories. All references used for this presentation are listed. Again, I thank Judy Ring, and I thank you for your time for review of this leadership presentation.